What is a technical writer? Technical writing is a position where it applies to many different verticals and many different industries. And we'll dive in and see what those industries are and what skills they need in order for someone to be a successful technical writer within them. Technical writers, they use a wide range of programs to create and edit illustrations, diagramming programs to create visual aids, and document editors to design, create, and format documents. They are masters of communication when it comes to documentation, and their job is to ensure that everything is very process driven and that the end reader gets what they need from that process, from that documentation. So let's go ahead and jump right in to see just what else the job of a technical writer entails. What are some examples of technical writing? We have FAQs, we have knowledge bases, user manuals, API integration tutorials, memos, reports, training material, tutorials. So you can think of even video tutorials go into this, medical writing, grant writing, scientific writing, business proposals, product descriptions, and specifications, white papers, resumes, and job applications. As you can see, technical writing applies to anywhere there is writing within your company, whether external or internal. Here are some of the fastest growing industries for technical writers. We have the heavy machinery industry, the software industry, automobile manufacturing industry, the medical industry, the healthcare sector, education sector, defense industry, aerospace industry, consumer electronics industry. So many different industries that you could get into. My industry that I've been in for a very long time has been the software industry, and it is, I think, one of the fastest growing, maybe the fastest growing industry in technical writing. It is something worth looking into, especially because it applies to all these rest of these industries as well. You can work on software that's for defense or education or aerospace. So it is very wide range, and that gives you an advantage if you want to go into that industry in terms of getting the benefits of understanding software while also being an industry vertical that you really enjoy. Now, here are some types of technical writing. We have process documents. These describe the development, testing, maintenance, and improvement of systems. Process documents are used by managers, engineers, testers, and marketing professionals. Examples of this type of documents include API, SDK, and code documentation, internal development documentation, and much more. Now, you also have user documents. This type of documentation provides customers with the information they need in order to use the product. You can think of the manual that comes with your car. With that said, similar to the manual that comes with your car, not all technical documentation is read, just like the manual that comes with your microwave. Microwaves today are very self-explanatory. It's important to note that technology today is not the same as technology 10 years ago. What technical writing refers to is things that are new today. At one point, your refrigerator as well as your microwave was considered technology, but it's no longer considered technology because it's so part of the norm of everyday life. User documents contain primarily instructional and explanatory materials. Examples include step-by-step walkthroughs, user guides, and troubleshooting documentation. Here are some advanced examples. A user guide is a technical communication document intended to assist users of a particular system. It mainly focuses on tasks that can be done through the GUI. The language used is matched to the intended audience with jargon kept to a minimum or explained thoroughly. Release notes are technical documents distributed with software products that contain bug fixes and added features. They're usually shared with end users, customers, and clients of an organization. Some software companies also use their release notes as a chance to do marketing. So they like to keep their users informed about what's coming next, because if a user is missing a feature that they really want and they're thinking about leaving the software to go find that feature elsewhere, it's important that they know that you're working on that feature and it may be ready and available soon. Here are some more advanced examples. You have API, application programming interface documentation. Describes what services an API offers and how to use those services, aiming to cover everything a client would need to know for practical purposes. It's traditionally found in documentation files, but can also be found in social media such as blogs, forums, and Q&A websites. An API, what it does, if you're not familiar, is it basically connects one software with another software. So let's say one software specializes in chat. and the other one wants a great chat functionality. It will use the API of that software that specializes in chat to have a chat functionality as part of its own software. That way it doesn't have to create it from scratch. And most software today uses APIs from many different places, whether that be many of the APIs that Google has or Facebook, LinkedIn. SDK, Software Development Kit Documentation. It's a complete set of APIs that allows you to perform almost any action you would need for creating applications, as well as other tools for developing the platform that it is for. All SDKs are and contain APIs, but not all APIs are SDKs. Market Requirements Document, the MRD. It is a technical document that expresses the customer's wants and needs for the product or service. It usually explains who the target audience is, what products are in competition with this one, and why customers are likely to want this product. What I like to also refer to this as a go-to-market requirements documentation. And this is often what product marketing managers need to do, and oftentimes they'll work with technical writers to create this document. And with that said, many product marketing managers are also technical writers. They are often responsible for lots of copy on the front end of software. Here are some more advanced examples. User requirements document, the URD, or user requirement specification, is a technical document that specifies what users expect the software to be able to do. The information documented in a URD is meant to spell out exactly what the software must do. It becomes part of the contractual agreement. A customer cannot demand features that are not in the URD, while the developer cannot claim the product is ready if it misses an item of the URD. Now let's dive into some of the core competencies and skills that a technical writer must have. They must be the champion for the audience. They are often the last line of defense when it comes to the copy that the audience sees. And because of that, they must understand and be able to empathize with the audience, often the most out of anybody in their company. And to do things like that, it requires them to often talk with their customers, users, clients, whoever it may be that's going to be reading their technical documentation, as well as communicating with other people on the team to ensure that they have a good understanding as well. So that way you're not starting from scratch when people send you a list of tasks in terms of creating technical documentation, and that there's a good vision attached to it. So similar to what I just said, you need to make sure everybody's aligned with the vision, because if the vision is not clear to help end readers, it doesn't matter how clean the documentation is if it doesn't align enough with what the end readers want. So if you're writing user documentation without a specific goal, so maybe that specific goal is to keep readers informed about new features so they don't leave you guys. And if you don't have that in mind while you're writing your release notes, then people who read your release notes may not learn about these new features, even though the documentation is very clean. And the other part of technical writing and being a great technical writer is being an excellent researcher. You need to not only understand how to use Google, but make sure to be able to research publications, conduct user interviews, and talk to the many people on your team, and also have deep product knowledge and ideally industry knowledge regarding terminology, jargon, and just being familiar with the people who are working on the front lines of your industry so you can really empathize with the person who's going to be reading the content. And that way you can present them that technical documentation in the way where it has the most clarity for them to understand. Now, technical writers are also team players. This is very important because most people think of writing as an introverted sport. It's not. Technical writing is also extroverted because you need to communicate with people who may be reading your work, because you need to communicate with maybe the engineers on your team, the product managers, the designers. So you need to be a team player and break out of your shell. There's not a lot of roles within companies that aren't team player roles. So it's important that you accept this as part of the work that you need to do, and it will help you succeed as a technical writer. And of course, technical writers need to be proficient editors. You are the last line of defense, so you need to make sure there aren't any mistakes that get released out to the public in terms of grammar, in terms of misrepresentation of the company and brand, and ensuring that the documents that you provide have clarity for the readers. And that's it. That is what technical writers do and how they succeed at their job and the different skills that it takes to do so. and excited for you to be on your technical writing journey. And I wish you all the best.